People be like, you really don't think you're ever going to want kids? You're not going to change your mind? You'll probably change your mind. No, we're not going to change our mind. You know why? It's Monday at 12:50. I woke up an hour ago. I decided my back hurts. I'm going to go get a massage. Here I am at the spa. Booked myself a little 1 hour full body. Stopped for a latte before. And then we're going to go into the sauna and the hot tub because it's included in my day pass. And then I'm going to leave. And I have a few errands to run. They're not urgent. Probably going to stop at a few stores. Maybe a little Home Goods, a little TJ Maxx action. Take my sweet time because I have no one to answer to today. And then I'm going to go home with my husband and my cats. And rot and enjoy the rent we pay for and the quiet. The key word, quiet. Why would I ever want to change that?
I would love to shame those that are child free, talking about it is not a flex to not want kids or not have kids. Ooh, I beg to differ. It's a huge flex being self-aware, to think things through on a logical lens before you bring a kid into this capitalistic society. Misery really loves company, and a lot of these parents just want you to suffer. They like, if I had to work a job that I hate, so do you. So I'm gonna bring you into this existence to suffer with me. Just because you can procreate doesn't mean you should. A lot of these kids never asked to be in this dysfunctional household with you. But unfortunately, y'all have kids out of boredom. Just because you can, just because you are horny, just because it is the adult thing to do, doesn't mean it's the brightest thing to do. Y'all really gotta lay off trying to bash those that are choosing not to reproduce, because we're not moving off of emotions. We're not moving off of feelings. We're not moving off of horniness or just doing something because the Bible said to reproduce and multiply. We're thinking on a conscious level. We see that the world is on fire. Why would I bring a kid into a world that is on fire, that is burning down, that is crumbling as we speak? I'm not going to sacrifice them. I will sacrifice myself for the greater good. I will break the generational curses. It will end right here with me. All right? I will heal my own inner child before I bring a child just to traumatize them.
Imagine coming home from like a stressful day of work and there's someone in your fucking house who's like asking you questions like, what are we eating for dinner? Shut the fuck up.
I knew I was living my life right when somebody looked me dead in my face after telling them that we were going to go to South Africa and like do Africa at least once a year, every year. And we were talking about all of our vacation plans. And they looked at me and they said, I can't wait till y'all have kids, so y'all can sit down. Because what type of hater ass I want you to be miserable ass shit is that? And with that, I am going to have a pool day with my girls. We're going to drink and eat until our heart's desire. And yeah, so
The reason why men hate child-free women is because they can't trap us. Relationships might start out all well and good, but a man locks you down for life when you have his baby. Even if you're not with him, even if you're not married to him, he still has his pinchers in you. The reason that they hate child-free women is because we get to say no to them. We get to choose ourselves every single day. And that's not to say women with kids aren't able to choose themselves every day, but they always have to consider that man. A man can make your life hell on the back of you having his child. A man can switch up the relationship as soon as you're pregnant because he knows he's locked it down. As a child-free woman, I can pick myself, I can buy a house, I can get educated, I can get a mortgage, I can get a bank account, I can do all of the things that we used to need men for, and they are pressed. Because we're also starting to wake up. Look at Sister Hong. Sister Hong is literally telling women, do not value being picked because they will pick anything. So if you are a child-free woman and they are saying you gotta have a baby, it's the best thing ever, it's the most important job in the world, it's not. It's not. The most important job that you have in this world is to be your best and to rise to your highest. And generally, a man will tether you down, and how they do that is by getting you pregnant. We have only had 50 years to build as females, and look at where we're at. They are so pressed because we realize we don't even need them to have a baby. We can go to a sperm bank. So think long and hard before you let a man put a baby in you, because that is the biggest decision you will ever make. And even when the situation is perfect, it's still fucking hard.
If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a child either. Why would I want to have a child? I don't need to have a child. I don't need to have a man. I don't need to pretend that I'm in love. I don't need to pretend that I want to be a mother. I don't need to stay at home and play giggle with a little child who's just another slave in the system. I don't have to do any of this shit. Why should I do that? Why should I waste my resources doing this when there's other games that are much more fun that are available for me to play? Why? And don't tell me I will find fulfillment, because my mother didn't find fulfillment. My grandmother didn't find fulfillment. And that's why I'm the byproduct of their lack of fulfillment. So I'm talking as a woman, right? I'm the byproduct of my mom, my grandmother, and all these lineages of women that came before me. And I'm the byproduct of their discontent. And then you tell me I should do the same thing as they did. Well, quite clearly it didn't work out. So why I should do this? What's the point? How's that going to fulfill me? And the only reason I did that before, or a couple of generations ago, is because the zoo required me, through its ordained religious priests and its science of the time, which was religion, that imposes us to do that and gave us, this is what you are as a woman, you're supposed to give birth. And you as a man are supposed to go work in the field like a donkey. This was ordered by the zookeepers in order for us to create more slaves so that we can build the zoo and make the zoo structure increase and grow and grow and grow. So I didn't really want to have a child. I was obliged to have a child. It was what I did because there's nothing else to do. And that was what was told to me to do, even though it may match my biology. I didn't necessarily want to have a child. What for? What's in it for me?
Gen Z and millennials don't want kids. So the birth rate, the fertility rate in the U.S. has been going down for years. It's now at a historic low. And what's really interesting when you get into the Pew research underneath it is the reason people are not having kids has changed. So put up this graphic here, and I'll talk you through it. People over the age of 50 who have not had children, they say, look, it just didn't happen. Basically, I wanted to, but it was bad luck. Young people today say, I'm not even out here trying. I, period, full stop, don't want children. That
is a big shift.
That is a big change. There's a bunch of reasons. A portion of them cite the cost.
The cost of childcare is bananas.
It's bananas.
School is just, it's
crazy.
Unreal.
A portion of them cite worries about the state of the world, climate change. Yeah. And then 20% say, I just don't like kids.
And these are all fair reasons. I don't know about not liking kids.
The state of the world and climate change, meaning they don't want to add to our population because of the pressures.
Or they're just worried that the quality of life is getting worse and worse.
Not having kids is not a flex. It's not a flex.
Get sterilized. If you are a young woman who does not want to have children, this message is for you. Get sterilized. Don't worry about what anybody else got to think. Your parents will get over it, the boyfriend will get over it, or you can break up with him. I'm going to tell you how I got sterilized in my 20s. I will be 39 next month, and I haven't had a period the entirety of my 30s and a little bit tail end of my 20s. You do not have to have kids if you don't want to. And because I did not want to have kids, I thought to myself, why the fuck am I bleeding? I started looking for a doctor to sterilize me when I was like 22, 21. Of course, I got told, no, you're too young. You'll change your mind. What about your husband? And at that time, I was married. Don't ask. Don't ask. Whilst going through my divorce, I went back to looking for a new OBG. Now this time I was like, I'm going to find me a woman. But to my chagrin, women were no different. I went to 2 OBGs of color. One was a black woman, one was a Southeast Asian woman. And both of them were like, no. The black woman was like, what about your husband? And I'm like, girl, I'm divorced. I'm divorced. Like, I'm not doing this again. Here, you want the papers to prove it? I'm not doing this ever again. Oh, you'll change your mind. You'll meet someone, you'll change your mind. I was pissed. You're fired. Found the Southeast Asian woman, younger. I'm thinking this won't be a huge issue. I'm a little bit older, shouldn't be a problem now. You'll change your mind, you'll meet somebody and they'll want kids, and then you'll be over the moon and you'll give them a bunch of babies. I wanted to power snap her. And she was tiny too. I could have taken her. I moved back to Philly. I find me a new OBG. Found a white man, a little younger. Same thing. I'm not giving up. I don't know what part of no you motherfuckers aren't understanding, but I'm not doing this. I fire that doctor. Go back out again. By this time, I'm 27. I'm like, I'm getting sterilized. I am not having any kids. This time, another white man, but he was old, like knocking on the door of retirement. We have a conversation. He examines me, and he's like, sure. Okay. Let's find a date. This man looks at me and goes, how's 6 weeks from today? I could have kissed that man. I got my sterilization surgery. There was no fuss, no fighting. Done. Do you know how much money I saved not having to buy tampons, pads, and Midol? I shouldn't have had to fight that hard, but you know what? It was worth it. No cramps, no headaches, no bloating, no period farts, no period diarrhea. And now there is this lovely white woman who is an OBG who has a list of doctors that will sterilize you. If that is what you truly want, do it.
Can all my women in their 30s tell me what it's like to not have kids?
Hi, I'm 33 and I have no kids. And I have no kids by choice. And I don't want kids. I personally don't think this creator did anything wrong having kids in her 30s. I don't think there is a perfect time to have kids. I don't think you'll ever be ready to have kids. As long as you wanted kids, then you're good. You're solid. The kids are going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. But me personally, I don't want kids. I've never wanted kids. You see my house, it's beige as fuck because I don't have kids. My dog, she's not here right now, but she's beige. She fits the aesthetic. I'm too selfish to have kids, plain and simple. I'm too selfish to have kids. And that's just because I was raised in a Latino household where I practically raised my brothers and sisters, including my mom. I raised her too. So I've been raising people my entire life. I don't want to do it anymore. My mom has scarred me from ever wanting children. My mom says that when I was like 15, or probably even younger, I always said that I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I can't imagine the life that I live now. And it's not like I do anything wild. It's not like a fucking going out every single day. I truly like my peace. My house is always quiet. Listen, when my sister, I have a 10-year-old sister. When my sister says, Vicky, I want to, but I'm not. Can you imagine if that was mommy? I simply can't do it. Shout out to all the mothers out there doing it, killing it, single mothers. I was raised by a single mother like you guys. You guys are the bomb.com. But me, simply, I could never do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I choose not to do it. I'm too selfish with my time. I don't care what the men on this app got to say. Oh, you look old. No man's ever going to want you anyway. I don't care. Pookie, I simply don't care. Look at me. I'm so happy. I can't do it, but it's not for me. My life's great. And I don't think women that have children, I don't think your life sucks. And I don't understand this beef between women that have children and women who don't have children. Like, you guys want to rave about your kids. I love that for you. I want to rave about the fact that I don't have kids and I never will. So I think we should just unite, love each other, say fuck them kids together.
Now that the birth rate is at an all-time low, this is a guide for how child-free women can be spending their money. So here we have our luxury pyramid as always. On the Bugetto level of child-free women, these are people that have invested a little bit of money into their hobbies like tennis, maybe crocheting or knitting. They like to have candles in their home to add a little extra feel, and they probably go out for brunch every now and again with the girls. But for the most part, if you're on this Bugetto level, you are spending your money on you. Now, as you get up to the bougie level here, these women have probably got a dog, which should not be confused with a human child. They also have taken the step to hire an in-house cleaner because they're just so over it, they don't want to do it. And they're taking an occasional holiday, probably to a really nice resort. It's luxury, it's great. But on this level, it's important to note that you are also spending your money on you. But the reason why this is green is because you have more money. Now, once you get this bougie level, this is where you've hit the jackpot. Because here you're probably spending some money on Christmas gifts for your nieces and nephews. You probably invested in a house of some sort, although you don't need to. But you are really focusing on spending your money on you. The reason why this is in red here is because you don't play about you. You are a necessity. So when you look at the entire pyramid here, I'm sure you can notice that all levels of women are spending their money on who? Themselves. I hope you guys really keep this in mind as we move forward and keeping that birth rate low. Thank you.
When you're talking to a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag in the world.
The only reason that men like you view a woman not wanting children as a red flag is because you are aware enough to know that her saying that she doesn't want children at all is the perfect indicator that she has deconstructed what patriarchy has told her mother, her grandmothers, when it comes to what it means to be a woman. In a way, a woman saying that she does not want kids is a dog whistle for other people to know, oh, she's done the work, and that she's focusing on herself. Her not wanting children scares you because you know that she is not the traditional woman. You know that that means that she doesn't believe in submission, that she believes in my body, my choice, that she believes that women are equal to men. And what disgusted me even more with your video is how you chose to mention your brother who has special needs, to say that because he can't run, he can't work out, that you are grateful, and that's one of your motivators, your drives for getting out, working out, and healthy. The fact that you used your own flesh and blood, your brother's existence, to tell yourself, oh, life could be worse. Looking at his existence with pity is sickening. Instead of viewing that this world is discriminatory and does not provide a safe space and accommodations for your brother, you look at him as someone that you are glad that you are not. But that shouldn't be a shock, because the opening of your video was talking about women who have independence, who focus on themselves, who don't want to give in to the patriarchal standards and rhetoric that has been taught to the women that have come before them. Where there is sexism and misogyny, ableism, and all the other isms are not far behind.
Having no kids, that's a flex. You ain't got no kids, that's a flex. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for not having kids. Like what? It hit a little different. I get to come and go when I want to. I come home to a clean house. I spend my money just on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with having kids, but all I'm saying is it's a flex not to have kids, because not too many of us out here without kids. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact how people try to be like, oh, you gonna be lonely when you get older, or woo, woo, woo. Like, man, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. You see this meal I just bought right here? I bought that shit for me, not me and another month. You know what I'm saying? It just hit different. All jokes aside, though, for real, having a kid is a real responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Am I ready for that right now? No. I want to accomplish all my goals. I want to accomplish all my dreams. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing holding me back. You know what I'm saying? In the near future, do I consider having kids? Absolutely. But right now, I'm just fully focused on me. You know what I'm saying? And having kids is a flex. Don't let people guilt trip you and make you think you got to have kids right now at a young age, or you going to grow old and lonely. I'm going to just be a lonely, rich motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
How many kids do you have?
Oh, I have no kids. Girl, look at this figure. Hold up. I know you don't know too much about it, but like, let me tell you something. I don't even know how to talk to kids. Like, I'm telling you about a figure.
To me, there's only one major downside of not having kids. And no, it has nothing to do with a nursing home or being a lonely cat woman, is that people don't take you seriously. Everyone expects people who don't have kids to be accommodating to their choice to have kids. What happens is we get the brunt of the work when we don't want it, and we don't get twice the pay. And we're just supposed to be understanding, like, well, she went on maternity leave. That was her choice. To have a baby, you better replace her with someone temporarily to take over that position. I'm not saying you have to fire her, but we need someone to fill in. It ain't gonna be me. You want me to take her role with not her pay? That's crazy. People think because you don't have kids, well, you have all this free time and you can do it. Yeah, but the free time is for me. There was the reason why I didn't have children. It was to make sure my free time was for me, not to do your job and my job. I still got a dog at home. He has to use the bathroom. He has to walk. So no, I can't stay 2 extra hours later just so you can go pick up your kid. Go get a babysitter, go get a date, whatever. Your choice to have a child is not my responsibility.
I'm really gonna let y'all know right now, the child-free people are not mad at the people with kids. We're not. Because what's worse than having a long ass day at work, working 8 hours, 12 hours, you don't feel good, your head hurt, and you gotta come home and hear mommy, mommy, mom. No, y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. I'm about to go in my house, pour me a glass of wine, and sit in silence for an hour because I can. Because I can. That's what y'all be mad at. Y'all just want some, y'all want some peace and quiet too, and y'all be upset that y'all can't get that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Drop them kids off to the grandparents, drop them off to daddy. Get you some peace and quiet, because mothers, you need it. Don't go crazy. Don't crash out. Get you some peace and quiet, because best believe the people who don't got kids, we fucking love it.
One of the best decisions I've ever made for myself is to be child-free. And I don't care what anybody says, or if they're gonna come at me in the comments saying I'm selfish and I only care about myself, because people have kids for very selfish reasons. People will have kids to take care of them when they're older, to prove to their parents that they could be a better parent. I literally throw up thinking about that. Literally, my own mother told me, when I told her the shit she did to me growing up, she was like, just have your own kids and do a better job. Excuse me? Just like, so disgusting. And second of all, I don't need validation from a child. That I'm a good person, that I have worth, that I have purpose, because I can find all that within myself. When you look for that from a child, you will inevitably traumatize them, put them into a role they did not ask to be in, and essentially you're making a choice on behalf of someone else that didn't get a say in it, because you wanted to have joy and bring life into the world because it is so beautiful. What about all the other lives that already exist, the billions of them? But it has to come from you though, right? It has to be your own, because you're fulfilling a reason within yourself. Anyways, on top of that, I spent a huge chunk, all my fucking childhood, being a therapist for my mom, for people around me, constantly, literally abandoning myself because I had to make other people happy. And I'm like, dude, I am not putting off my life anymore. Like, I'm not gonna be living for someone else. I'm gonna be living for myself, and I'm gonna be living for the people that are already here and existing in the world that I love, that are my soul family. Like, those are the people that matter to me. I don't need to bring another person in here to be like, I don't have friends, so let me have a fucking kid because they'll love me unconditionally. No. Literally, one of the best decisions I could ever make. Literally one of the best decisions I could ever make. I am so happy with my decision every single day. When I have disposable income, I could do whatever the fuck I want. And I could just be free and explore life. And if I want to hang around kids, I will literally go hang around my friends that have kids. Or my family members that have kids. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, let me take your kid for like a couple hours and let me give it back to you. But it's such a beautiful life. It's so awesome. And for anybody that tells you like, you're gonna regret it, it's like, I'm not regretting it right now. I'm not gonna regret it later, because I'm not gonna make someone else my guarantee as to why I need someone like to take care of me when I'm older. I'm gonna figure all that shit out on my own and not put that onto a brand new person that I decided to bring here because I wanted to.
Child-free women are never going to get celebrated the way that mothers do, because mothers see single and child-free women as just something to essentially exploit. And when I got my very first job after getting my degree, I had noticed this in all of the women that had children. Please let me know if you've had this experience, but I would notice this especially during the holidays. If you work a job where you are not closed during the holidays, one of the number one things that women will try to weaponize is the fact that they have children and that they have a family. And if you work in a field where picking up weekends is like kind of a rotational thing. One thing that I would always notice with the mothers is that they would always weaponize the fact that they had children and that they had a family, especially if their children were very young. Well, you're single and you don't have anybody, and so you should feel obligated to want to pick up the holidays, right? Why should I have to work the holiday when I have a child? I should be able to spend, the holidays with my family. So me not having a child means that I don't have a family either. Me not having a child means that I don't have loved ones and people that I enjoy spending with that I would want to see for the holidays either. Mothers really want to feel vindicated in the fact that they chose to be a mother, that they feel as though child-free women are indebted to pay them off for the sacrifice and the choice that they made for being a mother. They also would do this when it would come to working overtime, right? Like if you wanted to work overtime and you had the ability to be able to because you didn't have children, sometimes they would get upset. Oh, well, that's not fair that it's not fair that you're working so much overtime. Or it would be the complete opposite, right? It was always just some type of complaint. Or if they had an issue with their child, they would feel as though you were indebted to them to have to stay later at work because I have to leave work and I have to leave work because my child is sick. And so now because of that, you have to stay at work later. And it's like, your children are not my problem. Your children are not the company's fucking problem either. A lot of mothers believe that because they chose to do the hard thing, everyone that chose to not do the same thing as them should be kissing the floor that they walk on and wiping their asses and kissing it at the same time. You choosing to be a mother was a personal decision. And the women that choose to not have children are not indebted to you, okay? Women that chose to have children do not owe you anything simply because you perceive for their life to be less fulfilling or more free, or we don't have to have responsibility. It is not our job to pick up the slack of the more responsibility that women that decided to have children have.
If I'm talking to another parent and I tell them that I'm one and done, and they tell me, oh, sweetie, you need to have a second kid so your first kid can have a friend. What you're telling me is that you basically fell for society's pressure to have a second kid so your first kid could have a built-in bestie, when in all actuality, they might not even be friends or talk to each other or like each other when they grow up, and you just had a kid for no reason when you actually didn't want one. You just did it for the pure pressure of having two kids and not having an only child. Who said that?
Whenever I tell people that I don't want to have kids and they tell me some shit like that's selfish, I be so confused because is that supposed to be insulting? Like, truly. It's like, duh, bitch. Hello, that's the point. I can be selfish. You know why I can be selfish? Because I don't have no little human depending on me, and I don't have no life enmeshed with some man that's going to be emotionally detached to my decisions that I'm going to have to consider in every aspect. No, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound interesting. I like freedom. I like sovereignty. I like to do what the fuck I want, when I want, how I want. I don't need permission. I don't need to answer to nobody. I love that. That's the point. So yes, because it's my life and my life is about myself. Why would I not be selfish?
I wasn't gonna have kids the day my mama died. It was like a light switch. I knew that I had no desire for motherhood the day my mama died. It was really that simple for me. My mother dying changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I noticed that a lot of people do not like that answer for some reason, which are a lot of wonderfully strong women, because I think you have to be strong to raise children without the support and help from your own mother. And I'm not even talking just babysitting. I'm talking when I'm panicking or I'm scared, my mother is there to calm me down. When I'm going through postpartum, my mom is pulling up and she's helping with the cooking, she's helping with the cleaning, because I know my mother and that would have been my mom. My mom would have been that mom. And once she died, I just didn't see it any other way. And people are like, oh, well, if you have a great partner, you have a great partner. I have a wonderful husband, but my husband is not my mom. My husband is not my mom. And what really solidifies it for me is when I see videos on this wonderful app, and they're beautiful videos, but when I see videos of women who had just had their children and their mother comes into the hospital room, and their mother is so happy and she's emotional because her baby just had a baby. I watch those videos and I'm like, dang, I can't. I got cheated out of that experience and I don't want to do it. That's it. People always thought I would change my mind on that, and there's still time, but my mother's been dead 10 years and I have not changed my mind on that. I feel very strongly about it. I think that when my mother died, it just changed everything. It changed my wants, it changed my desires, it changed my needs as a person. And I think that as an observant person, I see the difference between the motherhood experience for women who have present mothers who are there and available to support them, and the women who do not have that. And they are very different experiences from what I can observe. And it's just not something I want to do without my own mama. I miss her, I love her, and I'm okay. I'm okay.